So when it comes to a book like this, I think I'm a pretty good person to review it because I don't really have an ally on either side. Like, I'm not really, I don't take sides on this kind of thing. I'm so ill-informed on the topic of religion in general that I just don't have a side. I'm open to being really convinced by either side, to be honest. But I'm so ill-informed on this that I am what this book was meant for, I believe. The book is What's So Great About Christianity by Dinesh D'Souza. I read another one of his books, The End of Racism, and I thought it was fantastic. Great book. And so I was hoping the same thing for this. I had some pretty high expectations. Now, the only real atheist book I've read was The God Delusion by Rich Dawkins. I thought the arguments were decent. I've also reviewed that on this channel. But then when I went to read this, I'm like, okay, what's so great? I figured it was going to be like more of a history, analyzing the history of Christianity, why it is beneficial to humankind, like more of a pragmatic argument, was what I thought. But that's not what it was. It was more of an argument it was a book about, hey, if you're a Christian, this is a way to strengthen your arguments for Christianity. If you're an atheist, but you're open-minded, this would be a good book for you. That's what it turned out to be, and that's fine. It's just not what I expected based on the title. But I was actually disappointed. Because I did have a very high expectation going in, that is true, but I was disappointed, and I'm actually, I'm bothered by the fact that I'm disappointed. I wish it was a good book, but unfortunately, I don't recommend it. And the reason for that is the arguments are very, if it actually pushed me away, if anything, because the arguments weren't good, and it's more, there were some good parts of it, surely, but the two main arguments that he made for, the logic, one was the free will debate. I'll give it credit that I think the free will argument was good. But there were two other arguments that really stuck out that I wasn't really a fan of, that pushed me away from D'Souza's argument as a whole, which one was downplaying the quality of reason, like the idea that reason isn't perfect, reason is kind of flawed in a little bit. He cited Kant, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, and I've read a lot of objectivism that really doesn't like Kant, so I'm not really much of a fan of him either, but essentially making the argument that reason isn't perfect, therefore we can't rely on it for everything. Sometimes we have to look at faith or other things, and maybe that's true, but I don't like that argument. I don't like the idea that faith isn't, because I know, or not in faith, sorry, reason. I know that reason isn't perfect. I know that, over time, science hasn't been perfect. Science has been tremendously wrong in the past. I get that the scientific method is not perfect, but it's the best thing we got. That's my case. It's not perfect, which is why you always have to be skeptical, and always have to be skeptical of, the scientific consensus, or, especially the people that say, it's the consensus, end of conversation. I don't like that. But, at the very least, it's the best thing we got, so it's something we can rely on for the time being while acknowledging it's not perfect. There was other Pascal's wager. I think that's a fine argument. I don't see an issue with that. The other one I didn't really like was the idea of kind of blending faith, more that if you don't know something for sure, you have faith. It's the idea of that if you're not 100% certain on something, you're using faith, and then equating that to, therefore faith is good. And the issue I have with that, it lacks nuance. It's not so much that if I'm only 80% positive of something, it's not that I have faith when I take action. It's more that it's just probability. That's the other main argument I had an issue with, and this is already going too long, so I'll end it here. But unfortunately, I didn't recommend it. If you have a better book, if you had a book that really won you over, especially if you're someone that was an atheist and was converted, if you have a book that really won you over, a video or anything, just link it in the comments section. Let me know about it, and I will gladly read that and review it. Let me know what you think of this review in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.